Is a good one, a very short story about a young guy who handles things like a boss when his fiancée shows her true colors, who she really is, upon receiving the engagement ring he gave her. Titled, I called off my engagement with my fiancée after her reaction to the engagement ring. And a shout out to Todd for sending me this story. It says the diamond ring I bought for her was lab grown for $2,400. Right there in the first sentence, lab grown. Nope. She wants one that was dug up in the ground in the mine by probably some unfortunate souls that had to do it in a very tough part of the world. But she doesn't care because she wants a ring. A few days after the proposal, everything seemed fine until she somehow discovered the price of the ring. How did she discover that? Meaning she was digging around. She probably looked at your credit card receipts or logged into your credit card account to see the price what you paid at De Beers or K Jewelers, or whatever the hell it was. So she's a snooper too. She told me she felt hurt that I would spend so little on her, claiming it reflected her worth and the seriousness of our future marriage. Her worth? Okay, Your Majesty. Who she thinks she's the queen? There's only one queen, and that's Latifah, and it ain't her. When I asked her what she expected, she said the ring should have been at least, wait for it, $20,000. $20,000? Are you kidding me? Again, who does she think she is? That $20,000 could be used in much better places for a young couple. If she loved this guy, it wouldn't matter. True love, he could give her a ring out of the old candy machines. Remember those things when some of us were little kids? Granted, I sat her down and explained, this should be good, that while I could certainly afford a more expensive ring, we needed to manage expectations. There's also a wedding to plan, and we might be covering most of the costs ourselves, since neither of our parents has the means to help. I pointed out that there are smarter ways to use $20,000, paying off a car, putting it toward a down payment on a house, investing, or even funding her business idea, something we talked about before. Well, I'm all good with the $20,000 paying off the car, or putting down for a down payment, or investing. I'm not good about giving money to invest in a business of hers because she's obviously an idiot and terrible with money. As someone who didn't grow up with financial stability, becoming financially secure and literate is a major priority for me. But despite the conversation, she insisted she would still feel bothered if I didn't upgrade the ring. So she's speaking emotion and being from a place of emotion and self-centeredness, and he's coming from a place from logic and reason. And notice he said he grew up, obviously, money was tight, or maybe he was poor. Guess what? That's going to be your life. You marry her. Honestly, she's doing you a favor by showing her colors. He says, gentlemen, the price of a diamond ring should never dictate the quality of your marriage. I agree. I don't need to be married to know that. I've been a supportive and committed boyfriend, otherwise she wouldn't have accepted my proposal. Her response shocked me, and after a lot of reflection, I ultimately decided to end the relationship. Good, bro. I'm sure that wasn't easy. But her actions have shown you who she is. She doesn't love you. She's petty. She wants to show that ring off to her girlfriends. She wants to put on Instagram and get attention. This is just a sign of how she's going to be. Because one day she's going to want you to, if you married her, she'd want you to get a much bigger house than you can afford. The clothes, the wardrobe, the vacations, all those things, the cars. You're always going to be broke because of her. And what has she done for you for that $20,000? I'm sure what she's done for you ain't going to even come close to matching. The past few days have been rough, full of emotions and reactions from loved ones and friends, but I chose to trust my gut on this one. Good. Don't let anybody tell you you're wrong. If they're giving you a hard time, tell them to F off. We clearly have different values, and I realize this isn't the kind of marriage that I want. It hurts, I won't lie, but a price tag on a shiny mineral shouldn't define the foundation of a marriage. Amen. But for Lord knows how long, the diamond industry has used their marketing tactics to brainwash young gals into thinking to react the way she did. Absolutely. And you know what? I'm not going to feel bad for these girls because they should have their own minds and think for themselves. Tough shit. And you know what? You made her look like a fool. And she's never going to forget this, as is anybody else. And this story is going to go around about the guy who dumped his girl because she didn't like his ring. And you're going to be seen as a badass to a lot of guys. I see you as a badass. I'm proud of you. And I'm sorry it happened, man, but silver lining, you could have married her and it would have been very bad. You need to get involved with a gal that has the same values as you, particularly money. Typically, women are much more inclined to spend and be foolish with money compared to guys. But believe me, I know women that are very good with money and guys that are terrible with money. So you got to make sure that your girl and you are on the same page. Saving, but equally investing, discipline with regards to spending, life goals of building wealth, that type of thing. Because if you are, or shall I saver, or shall I say, you're one that wants to build wealth, and she's someone who wants to live by the day, meaning spend every dollar that she has, or rack up credit card debt to fund a lifestyle she can't afford because you never know, you could die tomorrow. It's never going to work. So you did the right thing, and all guys should behave like you. Now, real quick, a few comments before I wrap this up. This guy says, dodged a bullet, 20 grand for a ring. And not even a ring that was forged in the fires of Mount Doom, meant to rule over Middle Earth and make you invisible. I just got done watching the Lord of the Rings series a couple weeks ago. It took me like fucking 2 weeks because I couldn't do it every night. I had to split up every movie into like 3 parts because I was watching the extended version. To your point, that's a car, a good chunk of a down payment on a house, or a really great trip to Europe. That's a really great trip to Europe. Some people do value the material things and price tag above everything else. If that's their jam, then cool. Just something that everyone needs to be on the same page about. I'm sorry that you found out so late in the relationship. Yeah, it sucks, but better than the otherwise. Another one says, her loss. I can't believe people actually had that high of a price point in mind for what is a bare minimum acceptable. Also, she doesn't realize 20 grand for a natural diamond would have meant a smaller stone, worse color, and worse clarity for that price. I'm sorry you wasted time and money going through the proposal just to learn she isn't who you thought she was. Thankfully, it wasn't decades of time and there are no kids involved. Yeah, anyway. Another one. I had a sister-in-law like that. After she got her giant engagement ring, she would constantly flash it in front of everyone's face and tell them what an amazing man she was marrying and how much he loved her and how successful he was in business. 2 kids and 5 years later, she took her ring to a new jeweler for cleaning and discovered it was a cubic zirconia. So I'm guessing that means it was a lab grown or something like that, or just wasn't a diamond. I don't know. And last one says, you dodged a bullet there. The idea that you should spend tons of money on an engagement ring is pure marketing by De Beers Jewelry, and it continues to work apparently. If X really expected you to spend 20 grand just on the ring, how much would she have expected you to spend on the wedding, the honeymoon, your first house? Where would it end? Good that you got out. Exactly. It would never stop there. That's how it works, but this guy has his whole life. If he's a relationship guy, to find the right one to marry, but he better darn well do his homework on them and find out these things early on. But this is why the longer you're with someone, real life situations can come your way to kind of see who they really are, And sadly, it took the ring to finally see who she is, but, I just hope he didn't put too much money down a wedding as of yet. But good for him. He handled it just right.